Trump now calling out Democratic Congresswomen Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar, saying their attacks against Israel should cost their party some votes.
5 years ago, the concept of even talking about this, of cutting off aid to Israel because of two people that hate Israel and hate Jewish people, I can't believe we're even having this conversation. Where has the Democratic Party gone? And I think any Jewish people that vote for a Democrat, I think it shows either a total lack of knowledge or great disloyalty.
Mark Thiessen is Washington Post columnist and a Fox News contributor. The president clearly trying to convince Democratic voters that these Democratic congresswomen go against their interest. Will it cost Democrats votes in the upcoming election?
Well, I wouldn't have chosen those words exactly the way the president did, but his larger point is right. I mean, look, Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib are anti-Semites, virulent anti-Semites. They've compared Israel to Nazi Germany. They advocate the BDS movement, the boycott movement that seeks the economic destruction of the state of Israel. Tlaib has said she supports a one-state solution, which means she doesn't support the existence of the state of Israel. So these people are really bad people. And the fact that the Democrats in Congress and the Democratic presidential candidates not only tolerate them, but are actually defending them is appalling. And look back just recently to when Congressman Steve King, Republican, made comments defending white supremacy. The Republicans on Capitol Hill stripped him of his committee assignments and passed a resolution condemning him. The Democrats have not done the same thing or can't bring themselves to do the same thing with Omar and Tlaib. Why not? Why is Ilhan Omar sitting on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, which is the committee that decides U.S. policy towards Israel? So the fact that they tolerate these anti-Semites in their midst really does call into question their fitness to set policy for Israel.
You look back at the election results of 2016, Hillary Clinton got 71% of the Jewish vote to Donald Trump's 24%. It was even more prevalent in the 2018 midterm elections when Jewish voters backed Democrats 79% to 17% for Republicans. We'll see where that goes. Now to the president, a day after the White House said it was not under consideration, now saying he is considering a payroll tax cut. Here's the president.
Payroll taxes. I've been thinking about payroll taxes for a long time. Whether or not we do it now or not is, it's not being done because of recession.
All right. Well, he has to make that case because the criticism was already out there in the wake of reports that it was being considered that the White House would do this to stimulate an economy that needs a little help. Mark?
Well, the economy is doing very well. It may be slowing. No one thinks, most economists don't think it's going in towards recession, but it is slowing. Payroll tax cut is a perfectly legitimate tool. In 2011, Barack Obama worked with the Republican Congress to pass a payroll tax holiday that put about $1,000 in the pockets of every American family, the average American family. The difference between now and then is Obama had leverage because the Bush tax cuts were expiring, and so he cut a deal with Republicans to extend the Bush tax cuts for everybody but the people at the very top and to do this payroll taxing. Trump has no such leverage with the Democrats right now. Nancy Pelosi isn't going to pass a payroll tax cut and give him an economic stimulus going into the election.
Very interesting. A lot of talk about the economy and how exactly it looks. We're going to talk to Austan Goolsbee a little bit later in this show because there are big questions coming from both sides, and both sides are making strong cases. I want to go now to this talk about Greenland. What do you make of all of this? Now the president says he won't go to Denmark because they kind of said he can't be serious about this. Should it be taken seriously?
Well, first of all, I don't understand why people are dismissing this like it's some sort of a crazy idea. He's not the first president to want to buy Greenland. In 1946, Harry Truman offered Denmark $100 million in gold bars in exchange for Greenland because it was a necessary, had a military necessity at the time. It's strategically placed, and now that the military reason isn't there anymore because we have a military base there in perpetuity. But it's incredible. It has incredible natural resources, and actually, what makes it even more valuable is global warming because the sea ice is melting. You can create a trade route of shipping lanes through the Arctic that could cut 20 days off of the shipping from Asia to the West. So it could be the next Panama Canal. There are benefits to global warming as well as downsides. But for all these reasons, Denmark might not want to sell because actually they're sitting on a gold mine. So it's not crazy for Donald Trump to want to buy it, and it's not crazy for Denmark to not want to sell.
Interesting perspective. Mark Thiessen, always good to talk to you. Thank you.
All right, great to be with you.
That
Thanks.
visit to Denmark was expected